Good day friends. In the previous video we completed step division method to find out we completed with the mode mode of group frequency distribution. So here we completed with three central tendencies in the statistics. So just we will go through that central tendencies once again. First we completed with mean. In mean there are three methods. First is direct method. In the direct method formula was used x bar is equal to summation of fi xi upon summation of fi. Frequency column and class mark. Class mark is the sum of both the limits of any class and divided by 2. It will give the class mark xi. Product of xi and frequency. Product of both will give the last column fi xi column or xi fi. A into b or b into a, meaning is same. Sum total of that column will come at the end, that is summation of fi xi, and summation of frequency column will be at denominator. This division will be giving mean by direct method. Second method which we have seen, assume mean method. We'll short name it as AMM, assume mean method. In that we have to consider particular xi. Whatever xi's we will get, we have to consider any middle xi as assume mean. But for the simplicity or to avoid the negative calculations, I suggested you to consider the very first xi as assume mean. Then all the calculations will come in positive and answer will be same. In that we use the formula x bar is equal to a plus d bar. D bar is the mean deviation. How to find out mean deviation? Mean deviation d bar is equal to summation of fi di upon summation of fi or sigma fi. Here di is the deviation. Frequency is already given in the table. Di is deviation. How to find out deviation? Deviation is xi minus a. Xi is the class mark. After getting the classes, addition of both the limits for particular class. Addition of both the limits and divided by 2 will get the class mark, that is xi. First xi we will consider as capital A, assume mean. That won't be the correct answer. But with the help of that, we are going to find out the correct one. Di is the deviation xi minus a, so we'll get the di column. Then product of di and frequency will be fi di column. Summation of that, sum of that column at the end will be summation of fi di divided by sum of frequency column will give the mean deviation d bar, and the final formula x bar is equal to a plus d bar, that is by assume mean method. Third is direct method, assume mean method, step deviation. In that, with the help of assume mean only, we are going to find out. Means after this, it is the next step. So for step deviation, x bar is equal to mean is equal to a plus h u bar. Now h is the class width. H is class width. First time we have the class width in these formulas. For direct and assume mean there was no class width anywhere. So not necessary that classes has to be continuous. But wherever H is part of the formula, class width is part of the formula, classes should be always continuous. So first step in this step deviation method is classes should be continuous. So if the given classes are discontinuous, second column will come the continuous classes. Then the class mark, that is xi. What is u bar here? U bar is equal to, we have d bar is equal to summation of fi di upon summation of fi. Same way, u bar is equal to summation of fi ui upon value of summation of fi ui summation of fi ui upon summation of fi into g, or while calculating ui only we can convert it multiplied by g, or here we have to. Now g is the greatest common divisor, GCD of the xi's. greatest common divisor of the xi column will be nothing but the value of g, small g. Summation of fi ui upon summation of fi, where ui can be found, ui is equal to xi minus a upon g. Xi minus a is the assumed mean, so first xi will consider as a and divide it by g is the greatest common divisor of xi column, class marks. So in this way we can find out the mean by step deviation method, direct method, assumed mean method, step deviation method. This is first central tendency, that is mean. Second central tendency is median. For the median, what formula we use? Median is equal to L plus n by 2 minus CF upon F bracket complete into H. Now again H is part of the formula, so classes should be continuous. So in median also classes should be continuous, as class width is the part of the formula. So given classes, if the classes are discontinuous, we have to make them continuous classes. After that, n by 2 frequency column will come. Then sum of frequency, summation of frequency column is nothing but the capital N, this one. Then next is CF, cumulative frequency. In this, cumulative frequencies are of two types: cumulative frequency less than type and cumulative frequency more than type. In cumulative frequency less than type, we are adding the frequencies from top to bottom, and for the cumulative frequencies of more than type, we are adding the frequencies from bottom to top. Okay, so here for median, the cumulative frequency of the type less than, so we have to add them frequencies from top to bottom. First frequency as it is, addition of first two frequencies, addition of first three, addition of first four. In that way we have to continue till the end. And the last CF is always equal to value of capital N. Summation of frequency column and the last cumulative frequency in less than type, both are always same. So that is the cross checking, where you can cross check your calculations. In that, now n by 2, how to find out? Summation of frequency column, that is capital N, divided by 2 will get the n by 2. After getting n by 2, which are the values of CF, F and L? When we will get the n by 2 value in cumulative frequency column, find out first smallest frequency. When we will get CF, or when we will get n by 2 value, find out such biggest cumulative frequency as compared to n by 2. Suppose n by 2 is 52, for example. Suppose if n by 2 is equal to 52, so we have to find out the CF which is more than 52. First CF which is more than 52. So that column will be nothing but the median column. We have to mark it. That is the median. Now after that, the lower limit when the classes are continuous, when we will mark it median, when we will mark that column as the median column with the help of n by 2 value, lower limit in the continuous form is the value of L. Lower limit of that class in continuous form is the value of L. N by 2 is already by calculation. CF is the cumulative frequency of the previous class of the median class. After confirmation of median class, the cumulative frequency of the previous class of the median class will be value of CF. F is the frequency of the median class, and H is nothing but the difference between upper and lower limit when the classes are continuous. So we have median class. Just find out the difference between upper and lower limit of the median class when it is in continuous form. That is the value of H. There we will get the median. Third central tendency is mode. To find out mode, as we seen, mode is equal to L plus F1 minus F0 upon 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 bracket complete into H. So many terms are there. Same way, as we find out median class, we have to find out first modal class. Once we will get the modal class, all these values will be clear to us. How to find out modal class? See the maximum frequency class. The class whose frequency is maximum in the given information, given data, that will be the model class. So first mark the model class. Then as HS part of the question, we need to have continuous classes. So first classes will come, then if the classes are not continuous, in the second column continuous classes will come, then frequency as per the given. So the only 3 columns will be there. Then we have to find out the model class. The frequency, the maximum frequency class is nothing but the model class. After marking the model class, lower limit of the model class, lower limit of the model class in continuous form, not in discontinuous form. When the classes are continuous, in that the lower limit of the model class is value of L. F1 is the frequency of the model class. F0 is the frequency of the previous class of the model class. So F0, F1, F2 serially. F1 is the frequency of the model class, F0 is the frequency of the previous class of the model class, F2 is the frequency of the next class of the model class. So F0, F1 and F2 continuous series. Then just we have to put up the values. H is the class width, the difference between upper and lower limit when the classes are continuous. So there we will get the mode. So these are the 3 central tendencies which we have seen till now in this lesson. Now we need to go to the pictorial representation of the given data. See, whenever now some cricket matches or anything is going on, in between 2 overs there will be very short time. In between 2 overs there will be very short time, few seconds, and only in between that few seconds particular information about, suppose for example, excuse me, I will mark it here. Suppose any player had a century or half century or whatever run scores in particular area. So there will be the ground, and then there will be speech, and then in this way, suppose 20 runs are scored in this way, 30 runs are scored in this side, then 10 runs this side, 20 runs this side, or suppose 40 runs this side. So in this way the pictorial representation will be given, and very easily we can understand it. Instead of this, if it is told to us as a line by line, or suppose if it is written on the screen line by line, in this area 20 runs are scored, in that area so and so runs are scored, in this area so and so runs are scored. So as compared to this, that is little bit complicated to understand, but this will be without explanation, automatic we will understand it, not necessary to tell you anything. Easily you can understand in very short time. That is why pictorial representation is very, very important. When the teachers they are doing beard or DED. Beard or DED is nothing but the degree required to be a teacher. After graduation, they goes for this trainings to be a teacher. Bachelor in education or diploma in education is DED. That time there is one sentence that one picture can be equivalent to 10,000 words. One picture can be equal to 10,000 words. So maximum time teachers use pictorial information in their lectures. Why? To understand you. So if one picture is equivalent to 10,000 words, so you can understand what is the difference between just informing you word by word and to show it. So this will do very, very attractive work, and students will be also get attract there, and easy to understand also. So that is why in pre-primary section from last few years, you can see pictorial information is maximum. In old days it was not that much, but as the time pass, nowadays you can see the written part is very, very less, but the pictures are so much, because scientifically it is proved that pictures can be understand very easily, because it is our practical life to see something and to understand it. Okay, that is more easy as compared to read something and to understand it. So pictures are very very important. So statistics also involve the pictorial representation for the better understanding. So that will be in the form of pie diagram, it will be in the form of graphs. So all these things comes. If you will open page number 151, page number 151, there are some pictorial representations which we are going to study or discuss. First is data presentation, tabulation, then pictorial presentation and graphical method. In tabulation, ungroup and group frequency. In pictorial presentation, there is pie diagram and there is bar diagram. Pie diagram is in this form. How one circle will be drawn and the information will be shown with the help of particular percentage. The given information will be converted into degree and then it will be shown. When we will study about pie diagram, we will understand it better. Then bar diagram. In bar diagrams again different methods are there. Simple bar diagram, joint bar diagram, divided bar diagram, or percentage bar diagram. Then in graphical method, line graph, histogram and frequency polygram. Line graph in this way, x-axis, y-axis, and the line graphs will be shown. Okay, then in histogram some bars come together, they will be joined with each other and then the histogram is formed. See, in that way. Okay, the bars, rectangles will be joined with each other, that is histogram. And then frequency polygon with the help of histogram and without histogram. Two methods are there. With the help of histogram means the centers are joined here, and that is frequency polygon. With the help of histogram, and when histogram is not considered, only the midpoints of each class will be considered, and then the histogram without histogram, that is frequency. See, it can come in this way if it is without histogram. So it is frequency polygon without histogram. And then frequency curve. Here frequency polygons can be joined with freehand without using scale, that is frequency curve. Suppose same, if it will be represented in this way, then it can be frequency curve. Frequency polygon, frequency curve. Frequency polygon is with the help of the successive points will be joined with the help of scale and pencil, but in frequency curve they will be joined without using scale, just with the help of hand and pencil, that is frequency curve. So these different types of presentation we are going to study. Out of that, let us continue with the first one, that is histogram, which is there in our syllabus. Histogram is nothing but representing the given information with the help of rectangles, but they will not be away from each other, they will be joined. So see, bar graph is different, histogram is different. If we go for bar graph, the bar graphs are in that way. First class, then after certain distance second class, then third class, then fourth class. So there is a gap, same common gap between the successive classes, that is bar graph. In bar graph we have joint bar graph. Joint bar graph will be in this way. For the first class, suppose in particular year, the jar and wheat, production of jar and wheat. So for 2000, suppose 1978 year, production of wheat and production of jar. For 1979, production of wheat and production of jar. So they are joint bar graphs. Okay, next is subdivided bar graph. Suppose for 1978, subdivided, this will be used for production of jar and remaining is for production of wheat. For 1979, suppose if this is 1979, so this is subdivided bar graph. It can be also in subdivided bar graph, every bar will not settle at 100 or 100%, but we can convert it out of 100. All the bars will be converted into percentage, that is known as percentage bar graph. But in histogram, there will not be gap between the successive classes, all will be joined with each other. Already we discussed just now, the form will be in this form, so that is known as histogram. So we are going to continue. today with histogram. For histogram, classes will come on x-axis and the given frequency will come on y-axis. It depends on given information. Suitable scale we need to choose on x-axis and y-axis. Okay, before that, suppose if we will have this as x-axis and this as y-axis. Suppose here the first class will start with, for example, suppose if the first class will start with 300 to 400 is the first class. Second class is 400 to 500. Then next is 500 to 600. So we'll be taking 1 centimeter is equal to 100 or 2 centimeter is equal to 100 as per the data available with us. So suppose if it is divided into equal parts, 1 centimeter each. First class is from 300 to 400. So from 0, this is the origin, 0, 0 for point of intersection of both the axes will be known as origin. The coordinates will be 0, 0 there. Okay. Now on x-axis, this is our x-axis. It is also known as x-axis dash and this will be y dash. Okay, either here y or here y dash, no matter. X dash, y dash. First class is starting with 300 to 400. Before that, 0 to 300, there is nothing. So if we will consider 1 centimeter is equal to 100, so this will come 100, then 200, then next is 300, then next is 400. Where our graph will start? 300 to 400 means it will start here. Okay, then next and this. But this area is not of use, just it is blank area. And if we want to bring it, if we don't want to keep this gap, it can be shown in this way. Instead of starting with 100, 0, this is 0. Instead of starting for first centimeter with 100, our graph starts with 300. We can start in this way. This can be considered as 300. Before that, one sign will be used. This is the sign. See, in this way, the sign will be used. This sign is known as crink. K-R-I-N-K. K-R-I-N-K. Crink sign. So this crink sign shows that there is a gap between first class. There is a gap before the first class which is not of use. It is just empty. Okay, that space is not of use. So it is avoided. So that sign will come and from here we can start with the first bar. So this sign will get cover that empty space. Same way we can show it on y-axis as well. If there is huge gap and then after that the data starts, then we can use the crink sign at y-axis as well. So it can come in that way. Okay, K-R-I-N-K, crink sign means data is available there, but it is not useful in our graph, our pictorial representation, so it is avoided. So it is not going to affect our answer. I hope you people understood it. Then the scale is important. Scale will come on both the axes. On x-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to dash dash units. On y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to dash dash units. Depends on the given information we have to consider. So if one child will show 1 centimeter is equal to 10 units, in the same question, if other child shown it by 1 centimeter is equal to 20 units, no matter, it will be acceptable by board because it is mathematically correct. So everybody's graph won't be same. It depends on your scale. Scale is correct, the graph, we can see the design, the pictorial form will be same, but little bit scale is different. That is why little bit change you can observe in that. So it's okay. Question number is must on the graph paper. Question number, sub question number. Suppose if the graph is solved and question number and sub question number is not mentioned, the examiner, paper checker will have the rights to give 0 marks, or the marks whatever you will get will not be counted if the question number is not written. So that is very, very important. When the graph question is there or the supplement question is there, the question number and sub question number is the most important part. For supplement also same thing is there. Supplement is taken, everything is solved, but question number and sub question number is not mentioned. So you are not going to get any marks. 0 marks can be given by the paper checker or moderator or chip moderator. So on the graph, on the supplement or on the map, question number and sub question number is the first very, very important part. After that, the scale, then show x-axis, y-axis, arrowheads and everything. And then you can go to the particular main part of the question. Let us continue with that. Page number 152. Few solve sums are one solve sum is shown on page number 152. So we'll discuss about that. Here the table below shows the net asset value, NAV, net asset value per unit of mutual funds of some companies. Net asset value, NAV in short, per unit of mutual funds of some companies. Draw a histogram representing the information. So information is coming. NAV is written in the first, it is in rupees 8 to 9, then 10 to 11, 12 to 13, 14 to 15, 16 to 17. Very important part. See the classes are continuous or not, because if we are drawing histogram without continuous classes, we cannot continue it. First important part, classes should be continuous. So discontinuous classes, whatever given, convert them into continuous classes, then given frequency, and then we can go to the actual graph. So first of all, NAV in rupees, given information, then we will go for continuous classes and then for frequency. So here given is 8 to 9, then 10 to 11, then 11 to 12, 12 to 13, then sorry, there is gap. So after 10 to 11 there is 12 to 13. Then 14 to 15, and then last is 16 to 17. Here you can observe the classes are not continuous classes. Okay, see successive class if you choose, there is gap between this upper and lower limit, so classes should be continuous. And then at the last year, number of mutual funds, that can be our frequency. It is given with 20, then 40, then 30, then 25, and then last is 15. Now our first important role is to make the classes continuous. For that, see the difference between successive upper and lower limit. These are successive classes. Upper and lower limit, the difference is of 1. 10 minus 9, 1. Divide that difference by 2. 1 divided by 2, 0.5. Add 0.5 in all the upper limits. We have to add 0.5 in all the upper limits. So here continuous classes, we can write it continuous classes or classes. Difference between upper and lower limit of successive class. This successive classes we choose. Then difference between upper and lower limit is here. 10 minus 9, 1 divided by 2, 0.5. Add 0.5 in all the upper limits. These are all the upper limits. We have to add 0.5. So 9 plus 0.5, 9.5. 11 plus 0.5, 11.5. 13 plus 0.5, 13.5. 15 plus 0.5, 15.5. Then 17.5. We have to subtract 0.5 from all the lower limits. Lower limit first is 16. 16 minus 0.5, it is 15.5. 14 minus 0.5, 13.5. 12 minus 0.5, 11.5. 10 minus 0.5, 9.5. 8 minus 0.5, 7.5. Now you can see the successive classes upper and lower limit. 11.5, 13.5, 15.5 classes are continuous. So this will come on x-axis, frequency will goes on y-axis. For that, first is x-axis and y-axis will be marked, then arrowheads. Okay, you can mention x dash, y dash. On x-axis, what is going to come? Classes or NAV. It will come here NAV. It is in rupees. Okay, so this is already divided in 1 centimeter each. Y-axis also divided in 1 centimeter each. So important part is scale. Before that, the question number. Okay, here we can write is solve sum. Page number 152, solve sum. We can write the question number as page 152, solve sum, because we don't have the exact question number here. Then on x-axis, classes are going to come. So we have 7.5 to 9.5. First class will start with 7.5. So before 7.5, because this is origin, so mostly origin we are considering 0 0, x coordinate 0, y coordinate 0. From 0 till first class, starting of first class, 0 to 7.5, there is gap. Okay, so this gap is not of use, just blank space, can be utilized using Kring sign. So use the Kring sign in first centimeter. What it shows, in between this to first class there is a gap, and first class start with 7.5. So the continuous classes will come here. 7.5, then 9.5, then next is 7.5 to 9.5. What is the difference here? 7.5, 8.5, 9.5. Differences of 2 means 1 centimeter on the x-axis. 1 centimeter will be covering 2 units or 2 rupees, because this is in rupees. This anyway is in rupees. 7.5 to 9.5, 2 rupees is the difference. So scale on x-axis. First we'll mention of x-axis. 1 centimeter is equal to 2 rupees. So 1 centimeter carries 2 rupees. 7.5, 9.5, then after 9.5, 2 rupees. 11.5, then after 11.5 this will be 13.5, then this will be 15.5. I am mentioning it here because you should understand it. Then on y-axis, see 20, 40, 30, 25 and 15. Maximum is here 40. So we have to choose such a scale where your full paper will be utilized. It is not like that full paper is there and graph is just getting covered in this way and this. So to look after that graph, it will be utilizing the proper space which is available. So maximum we have 40. So it can be considered 1 centimeter is equal to 5 also, or then 1 centimeter is equal to 10 if we'll consider 1, 2, 3, 4. It is getting covered. 40 is the maximum. It will get covered in this only. So I will consider on y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 5 units. Okay, so it is 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 and then 50 will come. So for first 7.5 to 9.5, the frequency is 20. This is our first 7.5 to 9.5. 20 is the frequency. So we need to mark this rectangle 7.5 to 9.5 till 20. Next is 9.5 to 11.5, 40. Next is 9.5 to 11.5 till 40. So 40 it shows on the y-axis here. So we have to mention this bar till 40. Next is 11.5 to 13.5 till 30. 11.5 till 13.5, it is till 30. Then 13.5 to 15.5, 25. This is 13.5 to 15.5, 25. And then last 15.5 till 17.5, it shows till 15. So in this way it can be represent. Here we use crinc sign because there is a gap between the 0 to the first class. First class start with 7.5 and that gap we cover with crinc sign. So in this way we can show the given information by using histogram. We'll stop it here for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.